Hello, I'm Captain Phoenix and welcome to my corner. In this video I'm gonna tell you about the release here, Sahib Shihab and the Danish radio jazz group. It's one of two releases which we got from Sam Records, the French record label. One of two releases which were released here in December 2023. The other one is this one, the Heat Brothers, Paris 1976. But I'm going to focus on this one, Sahib Shihab and the Danish radio jazz group. I'm going to tell you a little about who the Shihab was and who was in the Danish radio jazz group. The importance of this group here in Denmark, where I live. I'm from Denmark, and some of the musicians here. Also, I'm gonna tell you about the music, of course, and the pressing. I'm gonna compare it to another version of this record, which was made earlier and in Japan, but we'll get to that in the end. So I hope you'll hang on and welcome. Sahib Shihab is this gentleman here playing the flute, and he was born in 1925, and in the early part of his career in the 50s he played with very many big names, Thelonious Monk, Art Blakey, Dizzy Gillespie, and yeah, so he was doing well with the right people at that time. He also was playing on this is the debut album by Benny Golson, the New York Scene. This is a little odd Argentinian copy I bought in Buenos Aires some time ago. So, but he was on this one, and he plays, as you can see, the flute, and he also plays the baritone sax. I think maybe other saxophones as well. But here we got a lovely picture of him. It's from this Sam Records release, and as you might know, there's always some extra photo material on the Sam Record releases. So this is really great. It's from the studio where they recorded it. It's in Copenhagen in Denmark. Sahib Shihab was American, but he moved to Europe. He moved to Denmark in 1962. And he settled in Copenhagen and stayed here for many years. And it's in the beginning of this period that this recording was made. A lot of other American international musicians have stayed or at about the same time or a little earlier in Copenhagen. Stan Getz in the late 50s. Dexter Gordon got this here the same year in 62, the same year. And stayed here for like, I think, 15 years. Kenny Drew, Ray Pitts, and other American musicians, and they were part of what really changed gear on the Danish jazz scene. Until in the beginning, the early 60s, they were jazz musicians, they were jazz scene, but it was not at a very high level internationally compared to international standard. But especially Dexter Gordon really lifted that, and Sahib Shihab did as well. He was the leader of the Danish jazz group here, the Danish radio jazz group here, and in a couple of years, I think from 63 to 65 or 66, and this recording was from 65. The Danish radio jazz group was established by the Danish National Radio back in the 60s. There were one radio channel in Denmark that was driven by the public owned Danish radio, Danmarks Radio it was called. My father actually worked there on the TV side, but I actually have been in these studios which were used for TV production as well. But the jazz group was allowed 1 week broadcast per month in the first year, and that's you couldn't listen to any other Danish radio stations, FM stations at that time. It was rather regulated area. The Danish National Radio had a monopoly. There was only also one TV channel, so it was very limited to what we got later. But already the second year it was the the jazz group was established in '61, and already in '62 they got 2 hours per month to play, and then more and more. There were some well-known musicians here. There was which we who do not see here, but some of you might know Niels Henning Ørsted Pedersen, the Danish bass player. He was very young at that time. He was, I think he was around 18 or 19 years old. He played a lot of years with Oscar Peterson Trio, and he also, Niels Henning Ørsted Pedersen, also got an offer from Count Basie in '65, the year this one was recorded, when he was only 19 years old, and got an offer from Count Basie to be the bassist in Count Basie's big band. But he was too young. He found that, so he stayed in Denmark and made a lot of good music here, and went international as well. Another musician here is, which we do not see either, as the drummer. He's called Alex Reel. You might have heard about him. He played with a lot of good international players as well. A lot of the Americans living here, of course. And he played with Bill Evans as well. He was on the Bill Evans release that was released in this spring at Record Store Day. Treasures. It was called Bill Evans Treasures. There are about 9 to 11 musicians on the recording. It was made over 2 days, and you can see who is playing here. It was in the late summer of '65, and the musical style, I would say it's hard bop. It's compositions by Sahib Shihab, and it's arrangements by him as well. So it's arranged music, if you can say so. Not really the big band size, but 10, 11 musicians here. And even though I'm not very much into a big band, I have some big band recordings, but I prefer normally a trio or smaller. But this is not too much. It's not too over arranged. You can still hear some of there are solos here, amongst others with the conductor himself and other of the musicians here, and you get a clear expression of what they kind of try to tell you during their solos. It's not all arranged in that way. The music here, I would call it playful. It's a good spirited, it's light-hearted music. It's I think what's called whimsical in a positive way. It's really, sometimes some of the tunes here, it makes me laugh, the arrangements, and I'll give you a little needle drop on one of the tunes here. Tune was the beginning of side 1, number 1, Da Di Da. It's called. It's here on the. It's mentioned, I think, here. And there's a solo on the baritone sax by Sahib Shihab. So the music is really great. Good musicianship, good arrangements. Good spirit, light-hearted, as I said, but not still serious. Still serious. There are really taking things serious here. It's just in a good spirit. This is the same recording release. It is from here 23, and it's the first pressing together with the other one, the Heat Brothers, on the new pressing plant that Same Records works together with. Fred Thomas told me that it was another one-man run pressing plant called Garcia and Company, which is a French pressing plant as well. And as you might know, Same Records is a one-man run company as well. So I think they're playing in the same league. Earlier, Same Records has used Palace, but later switched over to Optimal and was only a small label at a big company. And I know that Fred Thomas was not very satisfied with that at all times, and he was not very satisfied with the pressing quality of what Optimal did. And I had the same experience. Some of the Optimal pressings are very, very good, and some of them have non-fills, and so the quality is a little uneven. This one, it's perfect. It's a very low noise level. It's sounds natural. There's no noise, no non-fills. The quality is as it should be. The pressing is flat, and yeah, so it is top notch. I think it's at the level with RTI and other top pressing plants. So well done, good choice here. The graphics, the visual side of things, I showed the picture here, which is something extra special for this release, but the rest of the artwork here is great. It's nice image here. It's flip back cover, it's sturdy. So this is like the acoustic side of things. It's like it should be. I've got another version of this recording to compare it with. It is this one. It's yeah, it looks the same, but it's not. It's a Japanese reissue from 2001, so some years back. This one has been the only available way to get this album vinyl, because the 1965 Danish pressed original is unobtainable. There are no copies for sale on Discogs, and the last one was sold, and that was in VG Plus condition, was sold for €4,000. That's close to $4,500. So it's very, very expensive. That makes it such a good idea to make a repress of this here in that quality we get. To compare these ones, this is really sturdy. That's the Same Records. The Japanese one is it's a little softer. The picture quality is not the same. I don't know if you can see it here. Maybe if you look at the letters here, Octave. That's the original label. Maybe you can see the lower one is the same release, and it's just sharper, and that goes for the rest of the graphic work as well. So it's a better version, and more importantly, the sound is better as well. The Japanese version is cut hotter, it's louder, and you can see on the groove that the groove stops much closer to the label. On the Japanese version, there's much more space between the last groove and the label on the Same release. So it's not cut with such a big amplitude of the groove, but it's the noise level is lower, so it's just as dynamic, I think. On the Japanese version, the bass is the general sound level is higher, and the bass is much louder. It's a little bit boomy. It's not so well defined as on the Same Records release, the Same Records release. So it's more detailed. It's more delicate. You get a better impression of all the other instruments as well. It's better balanced. It's Kevin Gray who's done the mastering, so or the cutting. So it's very well done, as we are used to. So everything speaks for the new Same Records release here. It's also got the original color on the label, which is gray. The Japanese one here is, as you can see, yellow. sorry, it's red. I must be tired. Of course it's red. But the original color here is grey. On side 2 of this the same records release, there's an extra tune which is not mentioned on the cover. It's called yeah, I forgot what it's called. Little French Girl. It's called. Maybe you can see it here. The Little French Girl. And this tune, it's rather different than the others. Sahib Shihab is singing. He's got a nice voice, but he's singing, and the backing is not the jazz group. It's like more full orchestra, and it's more soft, so it's not jazz. So, but it's funny. It was not on the original Danish release. It's on some of the CD versions, which have been made as well. But there's an extra tune here, but it doesn't devaluate the jazz part of the record. It's the last one. You can skip it if you want. So this was a little review of this release. It's definitely one of the better releases I've got this year. It's in the end of the year, but I just got it. I can really recommend it, and really recommend this version. Not that the Japanese is bad sounding, it's just not so, I think it's not so balanced and not so detailed as this one here. I would like to mention that I bought this one myself. Nothing was given to me, so I'm free to have whatever opinion I can have on it. But I think it's very good. So it's still available on the Sam Records website, and I've seen the copies coming up for sale on Discogs now as well, a few days after it was released, and that's how it goes. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you will enjoy the music. If you get it, I'm sure you will. So I'll say thank you for your time, and I hope to see you back next time. Bye-bye.